He knows what it is to pound people.
And who loves you? And who do you love?
Now, help me.
Whoa.
Stop that!
Watching things, sometimes I can find some drugs or some women.
Wow, this is freaking.
I have spells. I'm going to fly.
Get her to a plate of shit. That's all I wanted.
Live from the new
Is this what you want from me?
Big Dumb Mouth Podcast.
Is this what I am?
Here's your hosts, Midnight Mike, Joe, and Rich.
Let's get into trouble, baby. Let's get into trouble, baby.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another fun-filled podcast adventure. Hooray! Live on a Sunday. My name's Midnight Mike. Critchard's over there drinking coffee, hating this place. Nothing works here.
Hey, my stuff works. I don't know about you guys in Ohio that just turn off your power for some sort of green initiative.
Yeah.
Somebody made a good comment. They said a few weeks ago, we discussed a story about all these data centers being built in central Ohio, kind of in your area. And they pointed out, I bet this wouldn't happen. The power wouldn't go out for a data center. So
that is a good point. Like, they would have to have some sort of very large independent power generation or backup, or they're going to be at a completely different system than I. Like, we have basically.
So they're going to be on yours. It's just like when you go out, they're still going to have power.
Yeah, for people catching up, this is Sunday. Didn't do a show on Saturday. We had a storm rip through central Ohio, knocking out my power.
Like 5 minutes before showtime, too.
Literally, I was about ready to press go live, and everything dips, comes back, power surging, and then it just went out for a few hours. And then I was hoping, with my backup, communicating back and forth with Discord and Cretched, that we might be able to come back later on that night. But a tree came down, a very large tree, into the garden. And so all of yesterday, I've been chainsawing, moving lumber, and I got to go back out after the show to finish that process because the fence is down. That means critters can come into the garden, and we need to not have that happen. That's our food.
Is this the tree in question? This photo here?
Let's see. Yeah, that's the one. It's a cherry tree. And it doesn't look like that big right there, but each one of those posts are 6 foot. So it is a big boy. It's your big boy. It was some difficult work to clear it because if you're dealing with a tree that's fallen like that, you got a lot of weight overhead. Some of those, that was like 12 feet off the ground. So I'm really doing some daredevil stuff that I have no business doing, cutting that stuff. But luckily, my neighbor, he is a very skilled tree guy, and he gave me some good advice.
Did he stand on the other side of the fence and be like, nope, don't do that?
Yeah, basically. He's like, listen, I'd love to help you.
No. I'm not going to come help, but I will criticize.
Yes, he's a good guy. He's a little injured right now from probably another tree incident. I don't know.
Another tree falling off.
But so as that was going on, I heard this horrendous noise coming from the front of my house. I was like, what is that? I almost could hear it over the chainsaw. And I ran around front, and it was my AC, and it was grinding to a halt. And today is like really the first day of summer. Yesterday was the first day of summer in Ohio. Super humid, super hot. So I had to turn off the AC. Thank God I found a guy to come out, fix it. $2,000 later, and our AC did not blow up. It just cost $2,000 to get repaired. It's fun. So here we are.
On the same day you called, though. That's impressive.
Yeah, he was a new business. He's a newer guy. He's a owner-operator, one-man operation. So he came out, did a thorough job, so I think. And we're all set there. But we're losing money. We're hemorrhaging money. This is so much.
This is an opportunity for you. This is a business opportunity. You need to form some sort of conglomerate, almost like an HMO, but it's going to be, you got your basement guy, you got your logger guy, you got your AC guy, you got your painter guys.
Yeah.
You got your water guy.
Yeah.
You put all these people together, that's like the A-team of fixing stuff.
You know what? It's not a bad idea. And at the very least, it's a starter kit for people new to the area and they don't know who to call. Mike's List. Instead of Angie's List, this is Mike's List.
Yes.
I wouldn't make any money off of it, but it's something.
I did find a picture of your neighbor here working on his trees.
My neighbor is not Bigfoot. And why? Bigfoot's wearing a flannel? I guess so. Maybe it gets a little chilly out there.
Well, when you're out working, he's wearing gloves and long sleeve shirts. This is work attire. It is he's dressed appropriately. He should be wearing eye protection.
Is he using a steel chainsaw?
It's steel, sir.
Steel. Call it steel out here.
We got a dead animal right here.
All right. We got a lot. I have a lot of stuff. And I was lining up yesterday to be just an absolutely amazing show. I had so much news and awesome topics to get to. I don't know if that's going to happen today, but we're going to try. I guess I could just do the exact same show that I planned on doing yesterday. I don't know if it works like that. But
Would anyone really know?
Only I will know.
Well, I just took all my news stories from yesterday. I moved them over to today, and then I added several more this morning. So I'll get to about 8% of those.
Yep.
We should probably actually spin up a site for all the that's what we could use OBDM.news for. We could put all the news stories we don't get to on that one. So
I used to do that for the previous OBDM site. I used to publish links to and just like a small blurb of what that was. Then I had 2 different news agencies send me email asking me not to do that and almost threatening legal action against me because I was republishing their headlines. And
that's not illegal.
I was like,
that was a huge suit with Google. That's not illegal at all to do that.
Well, this is years ago, so I just stopped doing it. Like I built out the infrastructure. This is back before AI. I was really coding here. And I was like, fine, whatever. I just won't do it. But now that IP and copyright law has been thrown to the wind because of AI, we might be able to get away with it. Right, but until then, we got some headlines. Let's get to it. We have a lot of catch up to do. Maybe even take some phone calls later. Here we go.
Look at this shit.
I'm just going to go in order a little bit of what I have on the top here. So a couple weeks ago, week and a half, we had that story about the CIA officer that was asking for gold bars from the CIA.
Is this the submarine thing?
I don't know if this is a submarine thing, but this is this.
I have a follow-up story in the same guy, so.
Well, you might have different information than I have. So he's asking for currency, foreign currency, gold bars. He had applied to the CIA 2 times previous. A total of 3 times. He was rejected twice. Accepted the 3rd time. It didn't really make a lot of sense.
No.
And then he was let in, almost 20 years there, and he was just kind of funneling gold bars. He claims it was for work-related purposes to have $40 million in gold.
Stuff, Mike.
Yeah, right.
I need that. It's work. We told his wife, too. What's all these gold for? It's work.
Well, the FBI wasn't buying it. The FBI was not buying this. They decided, we got to raid this guy. So here's what I have.
They don't want to go kick down some doors?
This is what I have here, and this is from a Twitter post, and it does link to an official site. But I'll read down what's going on here. So, the CIA officer caught with $40 million in gold bars allegedly invented an entire fake top secret spy program to steal the money. David Rush allegedly built a sham special access program. The blackest box in the U.S. intelligence agencies. So secret, even top clearance officials couldn't look inside without authorization. So that's what they're accusing, or I guess it's speculative, that all the UFO stuff is in special access stuff, that not even regular top secret clearance can get access. You have to have super double secret top clearance. So that they're claiming.
Did he hang a sign on the outside that said no girls allowed?
Maybe effectively. The fake program posed as continuity of government work, the doomsday planning that keeps Washington running after a nuclear war. So this is very interesting. So the continuity of government work is, it's not elected government as far as I know. It's almost like, I think, Rex 84 stuff that Oliver North talked about in the 80s. It's like if there's a decapitation event where much of the government is the elected government is taken out, then there are groups of people that sweep in and run the stuff. They run the stuff.
Well, sort of. They have what's that giant agency? The general services, whatever they are. That's one part of it, like that giant administrative state. But also part of it is a hierarchy of the various cabinet secretaries.
Well, yeah.
In order, so president to vice president to secretary of the interior to commerce to whoever it is. So to your point, the government can keep operating in the case of war, some sort of natural disaster, whatever, plane crash, etc. The government doesn't just stop and people stand around trying to figure out what's going on, which is kind of what we're seeing going on in Iran. Is you have different factions all saying they're in charge.
Yeah,
Whatever.
Thanks.
It's very important information. He allegedly read in two colleagues as unwitting accomplices and used a made-up government contract to funnel millions, persuading defense contractors to buy huge amounts of gold. So that's a pretty clever scheme. But why were defense contractors buying gold? Maybe they'll find out in the investigation here. The FBI raided the raid on his home seized 303 gold bars worth roughly $40 million, $2 million in cash, and 35 luxury watches. Investigators said he lied to his colleagues. He lied about his college degrees, fake being a Navy pilot, and still sailed through the CIA's notoriously brutal vetting. And this is the biggest one. He was let through, in my opinion. He was let through to do something like this. A judge ordered him held as a flight risk, and several CIA officials are now on leave as the probe widens. The scheme worked because the system, the scheme worked because of the system, not in spite of it. The secrecy walls built to hide operations from China and Russia hid the fraud from the CIA itself. So I don't know if I buy this. There's more going on here, and I think we're just getting like 10% of the story at this point.
It seems to be getting worse as more details come out.
Yeah. Now, did you have something additional on this guy?
Yeah, so I've got completely different. So
okay,
here,
good.
I'll drop this in Carrot Shop.
This is from NBC News. Now, we could listen to the article.
It's just going to be an AI voice.
Well, I'm kind of... Things that may have come a long ways. And let's just take a listen. Come on, NBC News. Let's do it. Oh, it wants me to subscribe just to listen.
Ooh, I should pay money so that I can hear this story read to me.
Yeah, it's saying, want more of what you love with fewer added interruptions? No, I don't want more of what I love. I'm not loving it. But, so I have to go to an archive. So this is paywalled.
What the heck? I'm getting paywalled.
Yeah, I got paywalled with this one.
Uh-oh.
So let's see here. I'll see if I can quickly do an archive. I've been hacked. ABC,
see
NBC
if I can find
hacked
an
me.
alternate one that doesn't have the paywall coming up. That is weird. Since when is
NBC paywalling
NBC
people?
starting to paywall stuff?
Yeah, it's a little hinky.
Hinky.
Yeah, it is.
That is weird.
I got it right here, archived. Archive.today, yes, from NBC News. CIA officer arrested with gold bars. We know that. But also worked on Pentagon's nuclear sub-program. A guy with no qualifications whatsoever he was put in charge of the sub-program? Sounds pretty disastrous.
That's crazy, man.
Well, maybe he just said that, but when they asked for him to, I need a reference for that, he's like, nope, can't tell you about it. It's secret.
And so
that seems to be the thing with the other story is like when people can't go double check your background because they're like, nope, it's a secret.
Look at this, Gretchen. I went to archive and they rendered the page, but NBC has a little thing in there that says, just a moment, we're getting your experience ready. So I can't read the rest of the article.
This is a total fail.
Bullshit.
Let me see if I can find an alternate source.
This is awful.
Ridiculous.
This is bullshit.
I'm trying to read an NBC News, an article from them, something that I don't often do. I'll listen to their nightly news, but I under protest, I'll read an article from them, and I'm trying to, and they won't let me. And I really wanted to read their article right now, and it's not letting me.
Sure. That's too bad. And let's see if I can.
Bullshit.
See if this works. Submarine. All right, try. Oh, you're going to love the irony on where we're going for this one.
We're going to Russia today.
Worse. What's worse?
Oh, my God, we're going to Pravda. Okay. We're going to Pravda, people. I mean, at least they're not paywalling us. And now I am officially flagged by the U.S. government at this point.
Now you're on a list.
Yeah.
Quiet.
Former CIA officer David Rush, whose house the FBI found 300. I'm going to get to the program here. So he also served as a liaison with to the Pentagon on the secret nuclear submarine program. Yes. According to NBC, Rush got his role on the initiative of senior military officials. So he was brought in. During the investigation, it turned out that Rush had been fabricating his biography for years to promote his career, of course. He was embellishing a little bit. We all do it on LinkedIn. Come on, people. He claimed to have been a combat pilot in the U.S. Navy and a researcher at the Air Force Institute of Technology. Boy, he was mixing branches of the armed forces there.
He was a proud member of the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard.
However, the check showed that he does not have a basic civil aviation pilot's license. So if NBC could check this, how did this get past the CIA? I am saying that it didn't get past them, and that he was brought in to do this very thing, to funnel money to defense contractors and other people as payoffs. This is another layer of fraud through the federal government, and he was brought in to do this.
Yeah.
As the Washington Post previously reported, citing documents and sources, a former CIA officer who had access to top-level classified information is accused of embezzlement of public funds. So that's all we got from Pravda. I don't think it's slanted in any way. It seems like it's a pretty straightforward report, so that's good. Interesting. I guess I'm eating my words because I thought we would hear no more about this story, but apparently it's got some legs.
Well, so to your point, if he was brought in, officially, unofficially, whatever, depending on who knew about it, he worked for the directorate of S&T, so he's one of the what do you call it, like the quartermaster, the Q guys in James Bond. They're the ones who build the little widgets and all that stuff. So if he's brought in there as a way to either funnel money out or get it to contractors or whatever was going on there, and probably was going on for years, if he worked there for what they say, 17 years, and this was
almost 20 years,
caught recently with his current shenanigans. Is it also possible that it was? This is going to be used as okay, look, we caught the person doing all the bad stuff. This was our leak. This was our the person who was stealing from us. He's going to jail, and then they can continue doing it with other folks.
I could see that. Like, we caught the one bad guy. There's no more fraud, so stop looking.
That's right.
That's what they try to.
There he is.
That's
going
what
to
they
jail.
try to do in Minnesota. And it's like, listen, Minnesota. Tim Waltz is like, listen, we caught the fraudsters. You don't got to keep looking. We got them. We sent them to 6 months in jail. Okay.
They're on probation. We told them don't ever do it again.
Well, we'll definitely be on top of this, and as more rolls out. And I do have some Pharaoh news. We don't often get Pharaoh news, But here we have some Pharaoh news.
About, like iron fluid, or do you mean the rulers of Egypt?
The rulers of Egypt.
Yes.
The ones that are godlike entities sent from the heavens to rule over everyone.
Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
This is an interesting headline.
Is that Tim Pool yelling at me?
I don't think it's Tim Pool. It's somebody else.
Whatever.
It's probably another YouTuber. I hear weird things and I'll just grab it and I'll use it occasionally.
Yeah, that's great, isn't it?
Speaking of, before I get to this headline, one of the YouTubers that I like, I don't know if anybody else watches them, Luke from We Are Change. You watch him at all, Gretchen?
No.
You don't watch Luke from We Are Change?
Not familiar.
Well, he made his name for himself. He put out the Loose Change video with Jason Burmis back in the day for 9/11.
I know that from Jason Burmis, but is Luke the other side of that? Because Burmis was one of the producers on that.
Yeah, Luke's I think the other side of that.
Okay.
And Luke, he's got a bigger internet show. He does like daily videos, doing the news, much like we do. But he pounds through it. He will just rapid fire headlines. But he intros his videos pretty much the same every time you start up one of his videos. Now, I noticed it. I don't know if anybody else has noticed it, but he starts off pretty much every single video with this.
Oh, boy.
That. Oh, boy. And so I gathered
in that same like way of kind of exclaiming it. He doesn't say it. That's an exclamation.
Well, listen, I have these are all the varieties.
Let me go to his channel.
Yeah, you go to his channel and click on the first one, and you might hear, "Oh boy!"
Hey, the first one I clicked on, he said this is bad, but he said it the exact same way.
Okay,
let me try another one.
Try another one.
There, he said, "Whoa, boy." Okay, got that.
Okay.
Try another. Try a third one. We'll see how many. We'll do best 2 out of 3.
Okay.
No, this one he said, "Well, the rise."
Oh, maybe he caught on that.
Oh boy! 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 Oh boy!
Oh boy!
Can you mix the "whoa boy" with a little bit of tippy top?
It's on a completely different page. Let's see if I can.
Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh boy!
Okay, I can do it.
Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh boy!
There we go.
Tippy top.
Tippy top. Tippy top.
Tippy top.
Tippy top.
Tippy top.
Here we go. There we go.
Oh boy! Oh boy!
Oh boy!
Wow, he does say that a lot.
Yeah, that was just a sample of 15 different versions that I managed to find, and I found it very consistently. Back March till January, he's saying "oh boy" almost every single video.
Oh boy!
All right, back to this article, people. This is what I do. When it comes to podcasting, I'm not good at journalism. I'm not that funny. I'm not that smart. What I do is pick up on little things that people do that then I can record and play back later as a joke or a meme on this show. That's all I'm gifted at doing.
Oh, boy.
How many of those did you grab?
I have 15 right here.
Oh, boy.
What if you press them all at once?
Let's see if I can do that.
Well, you only have
Hoboken style, baby.
Oh, boy.
Over here. I can do 4.
Oh, boy.
I can do 4 at once.
Oh, boy.
Here's the headline here. Mystery deepens over King Tutankhamun. Tutankhamun. Alien glass after stunning discovery. Yeah, scientists investigating the mysterious alien glass in northern Africa have uncovered new clues about the violent event that created it. The strange yellow material known as Libyan desert glass is scattered across parts of Egypt and Libya and is believed to have formed during an extreme cosmic event around 29 million years ago. Now researchers have discovered a rare zircon structure hidden inside the glass that appears to have formed after the mineral completely melted and rapidly crystallized again. The findings suggest that the glass was exposed to temperatures exceeding 4,082 degrees Fahrenheit, hot enough to liquefy one of Earth's most durable minerals. Researchers believe the crystal preserved a microscopic record of the event, capturing the evidence of an extreme heat event and rapid cooling that created the glass. But scientists still can't agree on what exactly happened. Some believe an asteroid slammed into Earth, while others argue a space rock exploded in the atmosphere with enough force to melt the desert below. The newly discovered crystal does not settle the debate, but it provides some of the strongest evidence yet that the event involved an extraordinary temperature and formed under highly chaotic conditions. The finding is also shedding new light on the origin of mysterious glass that ancient Egyptians later prized enough to place Tutankhamun tomb in his tomb. So it's also speculated when it comes to like ancient aliens that way back when, we're talking 10,000 BC, 50,000 BC, in that range, that there was a nuclear exchange. There's an event of the pre-civilization, the high muckety mucks before the giant flood, that they had some sort of high technology, and the result of the use of that high technology created these extreme conditions to create this glass. Now, I guess you could do some radiocarbon dating. I don't know if they could pick up on radioactive material that might be within this glass to kind of date that back. I'm sure they probably have done that already.
Well, if you're talking specifically about the Libyan desert glass, then Sandia National Labs did tests on it, and they date it back to 29 million years ago.
Wow.
Whatever.
The biggest problem for researchers.
Are you saying that the ancient Egyptian gods were fighting it out and causing this to happen?
Maybe something like that. There was during the time of Atlantis, that maybe not all was
lost civilizations.
Yeah, lost civilization kind of stuff.
Ultra-terrestrials.
Yes, something like that could have been the result. Like a conflict between two competing factions could have been the result. This glass was a result of that. Let's see, how does that end up?
Like that, though. That's the basis for a bunch of movies.
I think
it's better than Star Wars. I think you just made it up.
I think Joseph Farrell, a noted author, has speculated on that the civilization had some high-tech stuff, and they battled with each other. It wasn't all just one world government. There were competing factions. I don't know if they go into that in this article. In fact, I'm pretty sure that they don't. I just wanted to bring that up as a headline that came across my home office here.
I will say the Libyan desert glass is an interesting phenomenon. They do straight up. My first thought when you brought that up, I'd not heard of this before. My first thought was lightning strikes or that sort of thing, which will liquefy glass and liquefy sand and make glass. People do it all the time. You go put a lightning rod out on the beach during a storm, and it zaps, and you get these interesting glass formations created. Fun to do at home, kids. But they're saying this one, they do test this one back and say it definitely is from some sort of impact with or most likely an airburst of a meteorite.
We're getting a lot of those lately. We're getting a lot of airbursts in sonic booms lately, but no desert glass being formed over here in the Northeast. That's for sure. I wonder, is there any industrial application for this Libyan glass? I mean, we can just make it at this point. We have the technology just to produce this kind of heat and make our own version of this. So maybe back in that day, it was a little bit more rare than it is now. So,
well, like you said, the cultures at the time, or not at the time, but cultures who found it prized it because of how rare it is.
Yeah.
I am not seeing anything in here that it sounds like it's similar to obsidian in the sense where use it as sharp tools. In fact, they still use obsidian today for surgical tools because the edge is actually sharper than what we can make.
No,
I love it.
So I don't know if this is used the same way or if it has any practical application or it's just super cool and they put it on pharaohs.
It might be just super cool stuff. It might be that. It might be just super cool. But I think I'm going to move on to something that is a little weird. This is going to be, so my wife told me about this person, and I started looking into it a little bit more. And we're going to get into some of the weeds here with some weird stuff.
But here's where things get really interesting.
Yes, things are going to get interesting here in a little while.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah. Oh boy. Oh boy. Yeah. Now during my paranormal research and book reading, I can't recall if I've ever came across this guy. This guy is John St. Clair, but his full name is, I think, John Quincy St. Clair. And this guy,
Quincy Adams St. Clair?
Nah, just John Quincy St. Clair. Obviously, he's probably named after John Quincy Adams. But this guy, he filed, at least applied for a number of patents. Back, I think, starting in the maybe mid-90s, going up into the 2000s. He had a variety of weird patents. Like the one I have up on screen right here is a remote viewing amplifier. Now, he has like diagrams and an explanation. He obviously he tried to do his due diligence by when filing the application. You got to be pretty specific with your patent and how it works and how you claim that it needs IP protection and all that kind of stuff. But he also had other applications and for patents. I think like spiritual eye. Let's see here. Other patents he had. But I didn't even want to talk about necessarily the patents. It's just this guy was also a remote viewer, and he had an incredible remote viewing experience. So specifically when it comes to the remote viewing in this invention, he claims that this remote viewing amplification apparatus, it enhances the remote viewing experience by connecting to the person's spiritual eye. What John Quincy St. Clair calls the tetrahedral geometric space or geometric subspace.
It's like a liminal space?
I don't know. He proposes a physical viewing station made of wood and plexiglass that supposedly improves psionic remote viewing ability by using optical angles that uses the geometry of where you're sitting and your third eye tetrahedral geometry. He claims that plexiglass is better than regular glass because it bends light in just the same way. So he means by remote viewing the application by which you can project the spiritual energy field of the human experience to distant locations. And he would do this. And so I will read his version of this because it is quite the remote viewing experience. Now, what I tried to do, I tried to figure out exactly when he had this remote viewing experience. And the best that I could pinpoint it was he had this remote viewing experience in the mid-90s up until maybe 2010. And that is when he most likely had this experience. And as you hear this remote viewing story, it might make sense or it might bring in to light other people who have maybe a similar experience. This is a bit of a longer one. But I'm just going to read it. Here it is. So this is one of my first remote viewings was made at night at a distance of 10,000 miles on the sunlit side of Earth. My spiritual eye and my body projected together while my mental faculties remained in my body. I found myself looking down on a palm tree from a height of about 100 feet. The palm tree had several coconuts that I could see. I then gave the command to lower myself to the ground. At that moment, I went sailing down past the coconuts, barely missing the tree. Finding myself on a pathway through a tropical forest, I then came to an extremely long wooden bridge which crossed over a river. On the other side of the bridge, I could see 3 soldiers running toward me. The two soldiers in the front were carrying rifles and wearing light blue berets. The man running behind was wearing an officer's cap. And he says, my first reaction was that I was going to be shot. I edged over to the right side of the wooden railing, then they ran right past without seeing me. I then asked to see the building that the soldiers were guarding. Everything went dark. So I guess he's asking himself, like he's remote viewing at this point, and he's issuing commands to move from point A to point B. And so he asked to see the building. Everything went dark, and then I found my spiritual eye peeking out of the floor of the computer room. Then there was one man using a computer on the opposite side of the room near the open door. He got up from the chair, came over to sit in front of the second computer located a few feet from me where I was located. From the glare of the computer monitor, I could clearly see his face. Everything went dark as my spiritual eye and body projected back to my physical body. So he just this is like he's giving his overall impression of what he was experiencing through one of his first remote viewing experiences, not really understanding what was going on as he was trying to understand what this remote viewing thing was. And so this is where it gets a little bit more bizarre. He goes deeper into the UFO side of stuff. So he goes on to say, another time my spiritual eye, spiritual body, and mind were standing outside the closed door of my condominium. Upon patting my legs, my hands, I couldn't find any keys in my trousers. When I looked down, I realized I wasn't in my physical body. I then shot through two solid walls of concrete and returned to my waking body. What those two examples show is that the human spiritual energy system is modular. The reason it is modular is because there are seven hyperspace codimensions, each vibrating at a slightly different frequency, which receives energy from space through 7 vortices located along the physical body. So he's talking about the chakra system right there. And like he's not calling it the chakra system, but that's what I am calling it. That's the closest analogy that I have. He goes on to say, over a lifetime, these vortices build up in the human aura because all energy systems have to be grounded. The remaining 6 modules are the legs, body, arms, voice, eye, and mind. When the entire group is out of body as a single entity, then the soul energy powers the body in a manner similar to a battery. The soul looks like a 2-inch diameter orange ball of plasma. If the soul is removed from the body, then the body becomes paralyzed except for the small movements in the eyelids. So I guess if you're doing an out-of-body experience, he's talking about, it sounds like out-of-body. This is much more than just remote viewing. This sounds like almost astral projection. He's calling it remote viewing, though. Once you leave your body, that your body becomes paralyzed, yeah, you can still breathe and you remain alive. No other movements. You're completely paralyzed. But then he says, upon death, all these separate modules are assembled into a single energy being. A light cord from the soul provides the battery power and information required to join these modules together. A second light cord from the pituitary gland transfers the modules into the energy being for assembly. This energy information transfers the reason that people in near-death situations say they saw their entire life flash before them. So then he goes, moving to a larger picture of things. So he just kind of gives you the basis of how you are as a physical vessel of the soul, what the soul may look like outside of the body and what you're capable of doing. And then he just says, hell with that, we're going on to some other stuff. Moving into the larger picture of things that are happening in the galaxy, I was able to make contact with the Pleiadian Federation, which is located 400 light years from Earth. The Federation is a group of over 100 intelligent beings that were brought to the Pleiades from around the galaxy. So this is where I was trying to pinpoint where the first occurrence of the Galactic Federation appeared in UFO culture and the UFO community. And I was trying to dig to see if this guy was the origin of it, or did this guy hear something and maybe take that and run with it. We know Corey Good and David Wilcox, they talked about the Federation, but they were after him. They were after John Quincy St. Clair, that's for sure. He goes on to say, one member of the Federation calls itself the Intelligent Insect Beings. They are the ones who fly the black triangles over Belgium and France for the purpose of evacuating human beings back to the Pleiades for relocation on a planet called Earth 2. So they're abducting people, not necessarily for experimentation, but to take them to Earth 2.
2? They couldn't come up with a better name than Earth 2?
Maybe 4?
I want to go to Earth 4.
So what's interesting about this is you don't often hear, like I guess in UFO lore, a lot of talk about the black triangles over Belgium and France. That was a big story back in the 80s and mid-90s, these big black triangles that were seen by, I think, even military and police officials in Belgium. They talked about it pretty openly. You'd imagine that'd be talked about more with all this alien disclosure, but they don't really talk about those. And curious enough, I believe it was in the mid-2000s that a hunter, I think in the United States, saw a black triangle hovering over, and he saw an insectoid alien inside one of those black triangles. Now, I don't know if that's confirmation, correlation, or just another story, but maybe there's something to that. So, yes, one of the Federation members calls themselves the Intelligent Insectoid insect beings. They are the ones who fly the black triangles around, relocating humans to a place called Earth 2. The reason for this evacuation was that it was not known if it would be possible to win the Battle of Revelations, which would take place about 2 years later here on Earth. That's why I was trying to kind of pinpoint when this exact remote viewing took place. I couldn't find. And he said 2 years later, the Battle of Revelations would take place. I'm not even sure what that Battle of Revelations is. He doesn't go on to say. And then he says, as could be expected, the humans were angry and hysterical about being abducted. So the intelligent insect beings asked me if I could calm them down. I was in telepathic communication with them, and they were in telepathic communication with their computer system, which meant I could have my thoughts displayed to the humans on a computer monitor. It turned out that one woman was from Central America and only spoke Spanish. The intelligent insect beings didn't speak Spanish. So they thought that there would be no way I could communicate with her. So I told them that I would spell the Spanish words letter by letter so she could read them as my message. Since most of the Spanish people are Catholics, I thought a religious message would be important for her. I spelled out the phrase, Q dos te bengas, or so, may God bless you. I also asked the two beings to put their hands together in a form of prayer, and the woman followed suit. At that moment, the intelligent insects were reading her mind to understand her emotional state. They said she is crying tears, but they are tears of joy. They said the woman had a big smile on her face and was successfully transitioned into her new life on Earth 2. So this goes on. I can read this. This goes on and on. And it's fairly detailed about how there are multiple different races throughout the galaxy called the Federation, and they are trying to evacuate like-minded, highly intelligent creatures to the Pleiadian, the Pleiadian area of the galaxy 400 light years away, because they don't think that they can win the conflict here on Earth. Now, this he did go on to say that a lot of the Pleiadians do travel in ships that do look like what Billy Meier, noted UFO experiencer from Switzerland, saw, documented, and talked about. And so this guy, John Quincy St. Clair, says Billy Meier is the real deal when it comes to his interactions. And it goes into...
Was Billy Meier the one who took like the first photo of like a good like traditional UFO hubcap looking thing?
Yes, I would say so. In clear color, no blurriness. Yeah, but obviously people call what he did fakes, hoaxes, elaborate hoaxes. And he also had audio recordings, some weird audio recordings of what he experienced when encountering these blondes, these tall blondes, tall whites. I'm a tall white.
I thought they were just called the Nordics.
They are the Nordics, yes. But I guess part of the mission of the Pleiadians and that this Federation, they go around to different highly technologically developed planets all throughout the galaxy. They make contact and they try to bring them into the Federation, not unlike what happens in Star Trek to a certain degree. They make contact. They don't try to scare them, but if they get to a certain technological achievement, well, then they make their appearance known and say, hey, do you want to come join us? And we could just be all happy and share and be in one great galactic party gang.
Yes, this is all very interesting.
I like this idea of the Galactic Federation, because we got to get on board with that at some point.
It does seem like that's where we're going towards at some point, regardless of how we feel about it. It is interesting during this, I guess, abduction experience through the insects. They tried to use God. I find it hard to believe that they couldn't understand Spanish. But apparently, John Quincy St. Clair, in his astral body, is able to communicate directly, telepathically, with these entities, and was able to facilitate that abduction. And they're doing this because they don't believe they can win the battle of revelations here on Earth. And I tried to figure out exactly what he meant by that. I have not been able to find. I got to read through more of his documents to kind of figure this out. He goes on to talk about different types of technology that they use. There's beam ships. He also talks about that he, through his astral body, he witnessed a signing of a new civilization into the Federation that is about 90,000 light years away from the Pleiadians, which is basically in the opposite end of the galaxy. That's really in the bad part of the galaxy. That's on the opposite side of the tracks.
The bad part of the galaxy. You don't want to be over there.
Nah, it's bad. But they signed up, and they're initially very hesitant, but they thought the vast distances and communication problems would be a main obstacle. But through the use of this astral body communication and telepathy, that it made communication almost instantaneous and possible. So they signed right up to doing that. And John Quincy St. Clair believes that his remote viewing amplification device could aid humans in also making these contacts with these other entities out there in our galaxy. He didn't talk about any other galaxies. He's kind of focused on ours right here. I guess there's a lot to see around here, so no need to go poking around in Andromeda just yet.
Well, not if you can grab people from here and take them
Yeah.
to Earth 2.
But he, as you scroll through here, he has various drawings of what he saw, how he thinks this remote viewing device works, and just fascinating. If you guys are interested, I can leave a link in the Discord, and you guys can check out all his stuff. So, but yeah, if anybody knows anything more about this guy, I'd love to know when he was doing these remote viewing exercises. And did this start the conversation and the idea about the Galactic Federation, or when was that first, made known to the UFO community? The Galactic Federation. It was definitely before Corey Goode. I think Corey Goode popularized that idea. But he was, and still is a very divisive person in the UFO community. And I doubt that he's going to be out there too much now that David Wilcox is gone. He's dead. And David Wilcox was his biggest cheerleader. So.
Well, the Galactic Federation was first, well, not first, but was brought up during Star Trek early on in the 60s.
Yeah.
So could that have led into the idea of that?
It's possible. It's possible that these are all just invented things, and that the human mind just takes things that exist in pop culture and reinvents them for the UFO community because it's fun and entertaining, or pop culture, unbeknownst to them, subconsciously writes stories that is reflective of true reality, which you can call that predictive programming or automatic writing or divine intervention for us to describe how reality truly is. But
quick research here says they tie it back most directly to the mid-1980s and the Ground Crew organization.
I'm not familiar with
the Ground Crew project.
Yes.
Was the first time they were related to the UFO community, postulated about a Galactic Federation.
Okay, interesting.
And Sheldon Niddle.
Oh.
Or Nidal, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I could do a whole episode just on that, the origins of that.
And I think it'd be worth digging into and seeing where that goes. Because
it might be. But I want to...
This one was talked... Remember the days of the Hale-Bopp comet?
Oh,
and
yes.
There was another one. What was all the people in the white shoes?
Oh, that was not the Branch Davidians. That was...
No, it was...
Heaven's Gate.
Heaven's Gate, yeah. But a lot of these were based on that. Like, that was going to be when the Galactic Federation was going to make contact at these big events. And when those big events didn't happen, it caused these orgs to kind of fall by the wayside.
We got you.
And Jonathan Frakes leaped out from behind the camera.
Yeah.
It never happened.
That's quite the prank.
Not this time.
Yeah. Well, I'll move on. I do have some more, I think, interesting stories to get to.
In fact, even David Icke here was talking about the Galactic Federation. Apparently, and I may be misparaphrasing here, but was going to fight back against the reptilians.
Oh, really?
That they were going to show up and help.
Well, they said that they're not going to do that. According to John Quincy St. Clair, maybe that Galactic Federation is in opposition to the reptilians, and the Federation is like, we can't win it. We just have to take people off of Earth and get them to Earth 2. We can't win against the reptilians here on Earth.
Maybe that's what it's shifted to now. Is we can no longer defeat them, but we're going to grab those who want to go. We're going to peace out.
That's what we call. Isn't that called rapture?
I mean, it could be tied to that if you want to go that direction.
It might be considered rapture, and so hypothetically, then
you get all those terrible Left Behind books and movies.
Yeah, hypothetically, the reptilians are in charge here, and they have put us in this soul cycle. They're basically psychic vampires, and we are basically in this forever loop and the reptiles are in charge. Occasionally, the tall blondes, maybe even the insectoids, they can dip in, check us out, maybe even pull a few of us out of here as a way, kind of like sneaking people out of prison.
I thought you were going to be like more like people like browsing at a convenience store. Yeah, give me that guy and that guy.
Well, maybe.
No, not that one.
Well,
that one and that one.
Obviously, they're not taking everyone. And
I got room for 2 more. Who wants to go?
It could be like
hey,
that.
That guy's got a 6er. Bring him.
It could be. They probably want, I would assume, the best and brightest of us.
No, they're going to get a bunch of retards.
Well, sometimes beggars can't be choosers. And you got to take what you get sometimes. So,
I'm a drunk ass redneck.
I don't know if you've seen it, and I don't remember how long ago it was. I want to say maybe it's 10 or 12 years ago. There was a Saturday Night Live sketch about alien abductions, and they had 3 people being interviewed by the police or something about just telling their stories. 2 of them giving the typical stories about seeing bright lights and a wonderful experience and all this. And one person who was just straight up leaning into every stereotype, like the worst possible abductee, redneck, and it was all about just anal probing sort of thing.
I haven't seen it, but it sounds right up my alley.
Are you fucking shitting me?
Yeah.
Videoing some fucking shit.
Yeah, this guy.
Like, what in the fuck is that?
What is that, Mike?
That's a drunk-ass redneck right there.
Mike, what the fuck is this? Will you stop yelling?
Yeah, they got those people.
What is it, Mike?
You're gonna get pulled onto the UFO, and you're gonna find it's just 15 people like that.
Yeah.
Oh my God! What are they? Wow, this is freaked out. We come in peace.
That lady, I don't know if you can find it quick enough. Is she the same person who was the person yelling at people at Walmart and was the fucking accuser?
No, I the accuser of the brethren. I don't think so. Maybe he's kind of like her.
Accuser of the fucking brethren, you motherfucker! You motherfucking accuser!
No, I think it's a different
That's
person.
close.
Very, very close. Yeah.
Check it out, there's 2 of them.
Oh boy!
I'll bring up this story here. This is I do have a video on this. This is this is disturbing. This is disturbing.
This is not a good start.
No, it's disturbing, but we have to know about this. Here we go. Yeah.
An elderly California woman and her husband are dead after she was swindled out of thousands of dollars by a person allegedly posing as actor Tom Selleck, according to the couple's close friend. 79-year-old Karen Whitaker and 80-year-old Donald Whitaker were found dead in an apparent murder-suicide May 15th at their home in Bermuda Dunes, California, per a Riverside County Sheriff's Office news release. Authorities cited that Karen had fallen victim to financial elder abuse prior to her passing. While a police investigation is ongoing, the Whitakers' longtime friend Joy Meidecki estimates that Karen sent at least $30,000 over the course of a year to a person that she had believed to be Selleck, who has not been accused of any wrongdoing or any involvement in this case.
Investigation.
Telling NBC News in a May 22nd interview, Meidecki said, quote, "Of course, immediately we said, no, that's not Tom Selleck. This is a scam." But she wouldn't believe anybody. Meidecki said the scammer first contacted Karen through Facebook, alleging to be the Magnum PI alum and that they shared a mutual friend who had died. After exchanging phone numbers, the Selleck Impersonator befriended Karen and would consistently ask her for money.
Oh, wow.
Karen's husband became aware of the alleged money scam when her friends reported her financial activities to the police and to Adult Protective Services. And while she was cut off eventually from financial accounts, Meidecki says Karen still found ways to send the impersonator money, telling People in a May 22nd interview, quote, "That was the last straw for Donald. He was so embarrassed. He could not believe she would ask her friends to participate in this scam."
Wait, so who killed who then?
So that's what is not talked about here. So the husband did wind up killing her. So Donald wound up killing Karen. They were found dead in apparent murder-suicide on May 15th because he was just like, you can't do this. Like we've told you over and over again, you're not sending money to Tom Selleck. And to be honest, it just doesn't sound like something that Tom Selleck would do.
So to stop her, he killed her?
Yes, I think so. The police investigation is ongoing. The Whittaker's longtime friend Joy estimates that Karen sent $30,000 over the course of a year to a person that she had believed to be Selleck, and there's no confirmation if it was or wasn't. Let's see here. So
maybe it was Tom Selleck.
Maybe it was. It doesn't sound like something like that Tom Selleck would do. Now, I could believe Steve Gutenberg, he would do something like this.
Jonathan Frakes.
Yeah, he would. He would definitely be. He's always into duping people like this. He loves to pull one over on people.
Not this time.
Or maybe it's that astronaut in space reaching out to people again that needs money for gas
and landing fees. Yeah,
landing fees. They won't let me land until I pay the bill.
Yeah.
I racked up a huge bill at the Treasure Island, so can someone go pay that?
So let's see here. According to the family friend, Donald became aware of the alleged money scam when Karen's friends reported her financial activities to the police. Though Donald and the rest of his family cut her off, she could still send money. She started hiding everything. But she was texting all day and night. It was continuous. One day before her death, Karen asked her friends for money, claiming that the wife of Selleck's manager had died and needed financial support. So this person really wanted to get all involved in Tom Selleck's life. Now, I'm assuming if it was Tom Selleck money, he's like, Tom, what happened to all the Magnum PI money? What happened to the Blue Bloods money? Like Tom Selleck, you'd imagine he'd be rolling in a little bit of dough.
He invested everything into Red Lobster the business, and he lost it all.
Well, that makes sense. I don't know if
that endless shrimp, it just took him out.
Yep.
Let's see here. So according to this, that was the last straw for Donald, like trying to give even more money, not even just to Tom Selleck, but to Tom Selleck's manager who may have died. He could not believe that she would ask her friends to participate in the scam. So the family friend added that she wanted to share Karen and Donald's story to raise awareness. So they didn't say it here, but they said that was the last straw for Donald, and it looks like Donald may have killed her and then himself.
Sounds like there's something else going on in that house.
And I don't know why they're so quick to rule out Tom Selleck.
Where was he on the day?
Yeah. What we want to subpoena his phone
alibi?
records. I want to subpoena his phone records to see if he's on Facebook running these scams. Like, he's not doing anything right now. He's got time to kill. We don't know what kind of back-end deal he had with all these shows. He might be starving. We don't know.
Yeah, you assume in his retirement he's just going to be out golfing and sailing. And nope, he's at home on Facebook scamming old ladies.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, these actors, they're very, don't trust them.
They're squiggly wiggly.
They are squiggly wiggly. They'll do anything for a buck.
I did find there's a photo of the security camera from that house on the day of the killing. So
okay. So we have Jonathan Frakes, Tom Selleck, and Steve Gutenberg. This is almost like a reboot of 3 Men and a Baby. Which I would watch it if Jonathan Frakes was in 3 Men and a Baby reboot. You ever see that sequel, 2 Men and a Little Lady?
I never saw any of these.
Oh, you should.
And then the other sequel, 2.5 Men.
Yeah.
What's happening there?
Yeah, that's great, isn't it?
I guess you don't know what any of these guys are actually up to. They could be doing this.
I got to say this one. This is the album artwork right here. Here we go. OBDM. 3 Men. 3 Men and a little lady.
3 men and a little old lady.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. It's just sad. And no one's really, I guess.
By the way, do you know who directed the original 3 Men and a Baby film?
Oh, yeah, I actually do.
Tom Pappard. Close. He was the second choice.
Oh.
Leonard Nimoy.
Really? Leonard Nimoy? Huh. How about that? He was talented. He was a talented guy. Actor, director, Vulcan.
Do you think that Tom Selleck and Steve Guttenberg reached out to Ted Danson to participate in this scam, and he wanted nothing to do with it?
Oh, yeah. He's too good for it.
So they went and got Frakes, who's just always up for shenanigans.
He's down for anything. Like, I don't think they're not releasing.
He's just hanging out in a woodshed behind his house, sharpening knives. And
yeah,
like, hey, Frakes, let's go.
I'll do it. Anybody?
I'm down for what? I don't care what we're doing. You tell me.
Oh, boy.
A Dyson sphere.
He's doing a Dyson. He's looking for a Dyson sphere. We'll move on.
A giant shell to encompass a sun to create a system of perpetual power.
That's correct. That's what Frank's is building. If you can just get enough money, some seed money from Facebook. Let's see if I got one more story here. There's something goofy going on in New York City. If you can believe that. There's some goofiness going on in New York City. Oh, sorry. I just hit my microphone.
You just whacked that microphone pretty good.
Here's a story here. Groups of men seen climbing in and out of manholes in Brooklyn for unknown reasons.
Oh, really? Wait. Groups of what type of men, and how were they dressed?
Well, maybe we can find out. So this is from USA Today. Groups of people have been caught mysteriously sneaking in and out of manholes around Brooklyn, stoking fears in locals as an investigation remains ongoing. Police say there is no threat to the public and that the sewer systems have been investigated after an unknown individual spent hours in underground tunnels. I'm not sure if I'm trusting the cops on this one.
Well, especially since, as I recall in this story, there was... it was initially reported because they had security camera footage or whatever of this happening. And it took several days for it to come out. And the official response of, don't worry about it, is not really convincing anybody.
In two separate incidents, surveillance footage caught groups of people leaving or entering manholes. They should be doing both. If they're entering and they're not coming back out, we got a big problem. If they're just leaving, like if there's no footage of them actually entering.
Where are they coming from?
Where are they coming from? Like, yeah, there's some big problems here. And this is happening in the middle of the night. Two incidents were reported last week, both in Brooklyn, after police were called for individuals seen going into the manholes. The first group was reported Thursday night, while the other was called in Friday around 1 a.m. That's some late night sewer going. Like, you typically, you're up to some no good if you're going into a manhole at 1 a.m.
Well, see, you can't do it during the day because the sunlight... Oh, wait, no. There's no reason for that.
I have to do it. The Thursday night group was seen leaving about 3 hours afterwards, according to NYPD, while the second odd circumstance ended after individuals were seen crawling out and leaving in their vehicles more than 2.5 hours later. The law enforcement official said that the NYPD's main theory is that the trespassers were looking for valuables, according to NBC New York. They're looking for valuables in the sewer. Shouldn't they look in people's apartments, maybe? Why do you think there's something valuable in the sewers? What could there be valuable in the sewer, Cratchit?
So what you do is you take off your shoes and socks and you walk around barefoot down there like you're clamming to pick up coins and rings and things.
Let's do it.
Hulk was big into that.
Yeah. But locals expressed concern as individuals are still unknown with fears stoked online. No arrests have been made in both incidents, and their investigations still remain ongoing.
Wait, so no arrests have been made even though they have footage of these people going over and getting in their cars, which means they probably have footage of said vehicles arriving, which means they could pull license plate numbers from these flock cameras all over New York, and they could tell you exactly who it was.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I know people were thinking, this is a story from a few years ago when there were pictures of these Hasidic Jews emerging from the ground. There was no, I didn't see anything like that.
Tunnels with mattresses and stuff?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe there could be something like that. Let's see. There is a news report. So I'll play the USA Today news report. It maybe they'll share some additional information. Let's see here. I'll bring this up on screen. Come on.
PD is investigating.
Here we go.
After two groups of people were seen climbing out of two different sewer manholes in Brooklyn. So take a look at this. One of the incidents caught on security video, and it shows several people getting out of the manhole on McDonald Avenue and Collin Place around 2 a.m. Friday in Graves Inn. Now, earlier, we understand there was another group entering the sewer at the intersection of Bedford and Hayward Avenues, and this was in South Williamsburg, and they left reportedly around 2:40 in the morning. Officers and other agencies did a sweep of those manholes, we understand, and determined that they were safe and free of hazards. So no word yet as to why the groups were underground, and no arrests so far have been made. This has been of particular interest given the fact that a little more than a week ago, a woman lost her life in Midtown when she actually stepped out of her car and stepped directly into and fell into a manhole there. So a lot of interest in manholes right now, and still not quite sure what's going on there in Brooklyn. We'll keep our eyes on the NYPD for updates on that story as well. All right, everybody, we're going to take another quick break, and then when we come back, we're going to be introducing you to a pair of forward-thinking young people from Brooklyn who decided to take a holiday event and turn it into something bigger for the community. We're talking about the Kwanzaa Crawl, and we'll explain.
Kwanzaa Crawl.
Okay. The Kwanzaa Crawl in the sewers? I mean, what's going on here?
Is it related?
And why is there so much interest in manholes right now?
So
that guy's just thinking about manholes.
Obviously, your mind probably goes to terrorism.
No.
That's
where they'd like to go. That would have been more believable if they came out and said, "We think this isn't this. There's some terroristic activity going on. We're going to investigate further." But when they came out and said, "No, nothing. It's nothing to be worried about. Nothing to be concerned about. Get out of here."
The stunning lack of interest by the NYPD, or they're lying to us as they often do, and they're really very concerned in the background. This is Mandani, so maybe Mandani's in complete control, and he understands exactly what's going on. So,
I found this photo. I don't think it's the right one though.
That's Hulk, the Hulkster. Oh boy, he's filthy. He's been down there all day looking for coins and valuables. Yeah.
I want to spend the rest of my life with you.
In the sewers.
Yeah, clean up first, pal.
I'll give you $10,000.
Yeah, this one is super suspicious about them. To your point, not having interest, not going into detail as to what was going on or what was happening. I'm pretty sure you would find that in most cases that's a trespass offense, if nothing else. So
it's public
very
property.
Strange that they're just like, yeah, whatever, yeah, that's fine. Just go hang out down there. It's cool. It's fun.
There's a piece of geopolitical news that I won't have a chance to get to, but it's about Section 224 of the NDAA that's being put in, and that basically hands...
Is this the one about the IDF?
Yeah, it's about the IDF being a direct partner. The Pentagon making the IDF a direct partner, Israel, a direct partner. And I think this is a way to get around any sort of funding issue for Israel in the future. That they will be funded no matter what party is in power. Because it's going to be a direct through the military funding, Israel, as opposed to having congressional funding. So, and I think it also is about intelligence sharing too.
They're going to roll it into the general ask from the military.
Yeah. Yes.
Which has been going up every year for the last umpteen kajillion years. And pre-Obama, I think, during Bush, it started just blowing up as far as another 10% every year sort of thing.
Yeah, so that's a big deal. And it may reduce our sovereignty even more. So at least that is getting some play online. People talking about it.
Let me ask the AI about it. What's going on with the U.S. and IDF? Oops.
Use Section 224 of the 2027 NDAA. And there's also Section 622, which is, I think it's linked to the other one, but it's all these phrasings is going to be codified in the NDAA, so I think it will allow for Israel to be funded regardless. So don't worry.
The United States Israel Defense Technology Cooperation Initiative, or the USIDTCFI, seeks to integrate the U.S. and Israeli defense industries through joint research, development, and production, mandates the Secretary of Defense to designate an executive agent within the Pentagon to coordinate these efforts, effectively embedding Israeli defense interests into the U.S. military. I love it. Yeah, that don't sound good.
No, it does not. And it's happening, people. It's happening. Because how many times does the NDAA get voted down? I don't think it's ever been voted down.
That's a good question, actually.
I don't think it ever has.
Has the U.S. NDAA ever been?
No. I'm going to say no. I am saying no.
No, there's no way. All right, Mike.
Since 1961, the National Defense Authorization Act has never been voted down in a final passage vote by both houses of Congress. It is considered one of the few must-pass bills traditionally garnering overwhelming bipartisan support.
No.
However, there have been instances where specific versions failed to advance due to procedural hurdles, committee rejections, or veto threats that forced renegotiation. But when brought up for a final vote, it has never not passed.
No.
Yeah, it's... So that's
since 1961.
And good luck getting a provision out of there. Once that's written in there,
also,
that's just the way it is.
What happened? So 1961 is interesting because that is the year that Eisenhower left office and gave his famous farewell address criticizing the military-industrial complex.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And one could argue that was also when Kennedy was elected. He was elected in 60, but took office in 61. And was not a fan of the military-industrial complex and may or may not have, ended up with his head all over Dealey Plaza.
Yeah.
Hello?
What the hell was that?
Some drunk guy. I have a
Is that Kennedy? Kennedy on the phone?
A drunk guy
Mr.
on the
President?
phone.
Wrong. Wrong. Who in the hell am I talking to?
And it's just a drunk guy I found.
I don't even have a fucking computer.
All right.
They're pulling stuff from the classic 1980s Jerky Boy routines.
That might be right there. We're going to take 1 or 2 phone calls.
At least 2. They better be.
Yeah, 1 or 2 phone calls. We get this going here, people. Here we go.
Go ahead and take the phone calls.
Here we go. I'll get this right up on screen right here, please.
And I'm behind. I'll get the number up for anyone else to call.
513-461-2175. Still catching up on some sleep, people. Just trying to catch up on some sleep. It's not going very well.
Have a clean phone line and don't cuss.
Yes, those are the 2 requirements.
That's it.
That's it. That's fine.
And have like a good,
have a point. Yeah.
So you want to go on air and talk, or
have something to contribute?
We can't have cussing.
All that.
Those are the last time you were in the sewers.
It's been a while. I'm trying to think. Even in my childhood, if I've ever been in a sewer, and I can't say that I ever have.
You never went down like in a storm sewer or a culvert
maybe
below
like a storm
road?
drain. Yeah, maybe I probably did, but I don't know. Like we had like obviously some storm drains, but it's not like New York City sewers. Those legendary sewer systems that
full of ninjas and turtles.
Yeah, turtles and ooze, green ooze from Ghostbusters. Yeah, those are
pink.
Oh, pink ooze. Yeah, you're right. Pink ooze.
It was slime.
Yeah.
It was psychokinetic slime, Mike.
Relax.
You should. You got to relax around that stuff because if you start feeding the negative energy, that's when it really starts to take over.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Quiet.
Okay. Gretchen, get some...
Quiet like our phone lines.
Yeah. Get some stories going. Let's get over there and talk about some wacky news.
All right.
Let's do it. Let me play this.
Good.
Was it Cosby?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
He says, oh, boy, kind of like the way Luke does. Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
All righty. Let's see where to start. I do have some cryptid news if you want cryptid news.
Oh, really? Yeah, I do. I had one that I didn't get to. I was going to save it for the next time.
So this comes from the BFRO.
Oh, really? Okay.
Which means it's legit.
It means it's been accepted into the official record of the Bigfoot Research Organization, which is the best one we got. It might be a little political, but that's the big one that we got to rely on. Let's see here. Group of teenage campers stalked by a group of Sasquatches in Idaho over Memorial Day weekend.
That's crazy, man.
That headline?
Perfect headline.
That is like a perfect headline right there.
Well, I find that also interesting where we're actually reading this story from, because that means this is mainstream.
This is Fox News, people. Fox News is reporting on this now.
Okay.
We are crossing the Rubicon again.
How many times are we going to cross
We're going to keep crossing the Rubicon until it becomes redundant.
Back and forth.
Maybe 4?
A group of 10 teenagers, almost all of them 18, from Parma, Idaho, took a 2-hour or so trip to Pleiadian National Forest in McCall, Idaho, to go camping on Memorial Day weekend. While there, they claim to have encounters with, and some of them even witnessed several Sasquatches, or Sasquatchi. Sasquatchi, yes. Witnesses who submitted their claim to the Bigfoot Researchers Organization. Kira says that the first sighting came on Friday night when her friend Abby had seen a tall, dark figure just a couple yards behind their friend Daniel and Bailey's tent. Okay.
By the way, for people just listening, because you can't see the article, all of these names are spelled incorrectly.
Yes.
And these people need to be booed and shouted until your voice is, until your throat is
So
hoarse.
Abby is ABI. Bailey is BAYLEE. And Daniel spelled Daniel.
BUGA, Columbia.
But it's pronounced Booga.
Oh, yeah, it is Booga.
Booga.
Abby kept this information to herself until Monday morning because she didn't want to freak anybody out. If you're a kid, you share this information. This is prime gossip, great information to tell people around a campfire on Memorial Day weekend. But I don't know, maybe these kids are so self-conscious, they don't want to seem abnormal, that they don't want to go against the grain, that they might keep it to themselves. I can see that. These kids nowadays, they don't like to go against the grain. So she kept this information to herself because she didn't want to freak anybody out. She didn't know at the time, but the weekend was only going to produce more encounters with the suspected group of Sasquatches. On Saturday, around midday, an argument between two friends caused another of the 10 friends, Colton, to walk into the tree line to get away from the arguing. Kyria, is that how Kyria?
Kyra? I have no idea.
Booga.
Booga's good. We'll go with that.
Yeah. Arguing Kyria decided to go look for him, Colton. And as she was wandering through the trees, she heard what sounded like something was walking with me in the tree line and whistling at me in different directions to get me lost in the forest. What a weird sentence to say. Why don't you say, something was following me on the side, and I heard whistling. She's
I think the idea is the whistling was drawing. She's probably out there looking for her friend, probably calling her by name.
Mm-hmm.
There's whistling kind of drawing her further and further into
I get
the
that.
woods.
That's the lure that we talk about, and you don't pay attention to that. If you're hearing a crying baby, a crying animal, all that kind of stuff, ignore it and just continue on your way.
That's crazy, man.
Mm-hmm. After a few minutes of looking for Colton, she turned back, only for her to run into him and find that he had gone back to the camp not long after walking into the tree line. At the time, she thought the whistling she heard was from her friend. Later that night, into the next morning, a group of 4 was sitting around the campfire when they heard branches breaking behind one of them. They then heard coyotes howling and decided that the coyotes must have been what they heard making the noise in the forest. Around 3 a.m. Sunday, while everyone was sleeping, one of them heard what sounded like someone trying to start their car. It was followed by a really aggressive and rhythmic knocking. So they're claiming one of the Bigfoot got in their car and tried to start it? That's crazy.
Hey, Bigfoot's got to eat.
Yeah, I guess so.
So he's not skilled in starting.
So
his
it
car.
was
You got to jiggle it a little bit.
It's like so that followed after trying to start the car, really aggressive and rhythmic knocking, which they wrote off as a woodpecker. If only they had known that there was likely a group of Bigfoot in the area. Let's see here. Then later on that day, on Sunday, Daniel saw a figure on 2... Oh, Jesus, Bigfoot.
Bigfoot,
he doesn't know how to use a clutch. He's an automatic. So Daniel saw a figure on 2 legs. He had gone to use the bathroom when he came in contact with a 9-foot tall creature with blank reflective eyes that was walking towards him. He ran back to get a couple of his buddies. One of them was Kyrie's boyfriend, Colton, who had packed a rifle for this trip. They set out to find the 9-foot tall creature. Quote, they let off warning shots and returned to camp and said they were headed to a friend's camp down the way because they heard that person running that direction. So they're assuming this 9-foot tall thing is a person and it was going to their friend's camp. They headed to the friend's camp.
It's a big guy.
Yeah, it's a big dude.
Big Jim? Big Sam?
Well, there's a lot of different big guys out there.
Big Sam. Big John. Big Luther. Where's Big Jim? He's around here someplace.
It's probably Big Luther.
Probably Big Luther running down there. So they headed to their friend's camp and later stated that they were circled by 3 or more creatures in the woods. Now, this is an incredible story. This is like multiple witnesses, all young adults, encountering multiple different Sasquatch over the course of a weekend. Well, it goes on right here. Quote, our friend Dylan and Sabrina were camping off.
How many friends were out there? Good gravy. Every time she turns around, there's 7 more people involved.
There's just a ton of people out there.
Joseph, Kyle, Carlos, Al, Aaron, Jonathan, Rog, Vincent, Jay, Kevin, David, Tyler, Daryl, Joseph, Paul, Gordon, Todd, James, Danny, Brian, Russell, Mike, Katie, Brian, Jenny, James, and Lynn. Forrest, Charles, Josh, Jeff, Jason.
There's a lot of them out
there. Brian L, Brian T, and Brian G all out there at once. Imagine being the cop trying to to take notes on this story. Like, well, okay, wait, which Brian was it? Brian G? No. Brian G was over with Colton. It was Brian T. Like, oh my God.
Have you seen the movie Pinocchio?
Our friends Dylan and Sabrina were camping off an abandoned road. They later returned, and Daniel and Colton said they saw 3 creatures that stood 9 feet tall with dark fur and standing on 2 legs with blank reflective eyes. They described it as a human-looking animal that was too tall to be a person and too fast to be human. They stated the creature knew how to hide behind trees and were circling them, trying to separate them from each other. Colton then stated that he shot one of them and then shot off 5 warning shots. So interesting. So he shot one and then continued. He said warning shots. I'm sure it was panic fire at that point. Because I would imagine in that situation, you're probably pretty scared.
I'm also not comfortable with these guys, how quickly they went to just start taking pot shots at people in the woods.
I agree. This could be some sort of hoax, but I guess if you're the one perpetrating the hoax, you gotta know you're gonna get shot, especially like this. This is Idaho, for crying out loud. Then they heard more knocking. They found handprints on a couple of vehicles and footprints around their camp. Well, did they document any of this? Are there like everyone should there have like some kind of smartphone or like is there video of any of these encounters, any of their reactions, so we could see if they're acting or not?
Well, yes, there's high quality video, but the BFRO determined that the video was too high quality and not shaky or blurry enough, so they deleted it. I did find a photo of Bigfoot trying to start that car. They
claim... Oh, okay, let's see here. Oh, he's trying to start... Looks like a 1980s Buick. He's barely fitting in that thing.
He's 9 feet tall, Mike. He doesn't have much room in there.
I guess you're right.
He's having trouble.
So they heard more knocking. They found handprints on a couple of vehicles and footprints around their camp. They also claim to have found, before packing up and calling it a weekend, broken trees put together sideways across all in a wide circle with what appears to be a teepee made out of trees. So I guess the Sasquatch are trying to build a teepee right next to their campsite. The BFRO investigator Matthew Moneymaker spoke with 2 of the witnesses by phone and concluded that they are telling the truth. The only question is whether it was a misinterpretation. I'm glad he could determine if they're telling the truth just by talking to a person over the phone.
I can tell. You just know in their voice.
He added that 4 out of the 10 on the camping trip had visual sightings in the daylight around their camp. The rest heard sounds at some point, given that there is a history of Bigfoot activity in the area. Moneymaker said it's pretty obvious some Sasquatches were there, at least 3 of them. At least 3 of them, indeed. It's the level of confidence that got me into Bigfoot in the first place. The lack of any real evidence shouldn't deter anybody from making definitive statements like this. Believe me, believe them or not, they know what they saw and they know what they heard. Yeah, there's no video. There's no photographs at all. They're just stories at this point. So very disappointing.
It's on the BFRO's website. Let's see, because they log all this stuff.
Yeah, they got it all. They usually present the evidence in some way.
All right, reports added recently. Yep, teenage campers in Idaho. Here's the link. I'll give it to you in the carrot shop.
Okay.
It had to be a man in a monkey suit.
Well, the man's probably shot now. Yeah, so here it is. This is the official report.
Oh, there's photos in there.
Okay, they got some photos. There's a group. Okay. Interesting. Some pictures of cars. Pretty nice cars.
Except the one that Bigfoot tried to start.
Yeah.
He had his eye on that little Ford there.
They're claiming what we're looking at right here is a Bigfoot footprint. I guess I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it right now.
Well, I think it's the area in the center that's disturbed, and the guy's got his boot next to it, so you can kind of get a sense of scale. But
what kind of boot do you think that is? He's wearing Wolverine right there, or is that something else?
No, those are generic Walmart boots.
So that's all we got. We got 3 pictures. That's it. 3 pictures. No video. I'm not seeing anything additional here.
To your point, I think, teens these days, especially high school kids, are not separated from their phones by more than 6 inches at any given time. Why is there no footage of this stuff?
Booga.
I'm very upset by this. But There should at least be campfire talk. Like, hey, we're sitting around the campfire talking about what we experienced. Let me videotape this right now because the memories are fresh, and then we're going to document it. But it didn't happen.
In the report here from Moneymaker, the guy who works for the BFRO, he said he's currently trying to arrange a group interview with them all, potentially recorded on Zoom. He notes there's additional photos of possible handprints on vehicle windows which are not shown.
Oh, okay.
Well, why not?
Show me.
I'm upset by this.
Yeah, I mean, these are kind of things that we want to see. Maybe he's waiting. Maybe Mr. Moneymaker is waiting until he does a full interview, and then he can then report more and promote it as a genuine multiple witness encounter with Bigfoot.
Well, that's a good point, because this is the guy who used to host the Bigfoot show on the, what was it called? Finding Bigfoot.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So maybe he wants the interview footage as well as the video footage he's got, and they can put together a package and release that.
Yeah. He's got to promote this site. Okay. Well, awesome story. I did have this story, but I think the fact that you brought the Fox News one, it adds just a little bit something extra special.
They have the same birthday as Adolf Hitler.
Well, since you brought it up, I had this one for later, and was kind of hoping Joe would be around because you can use the Joe quote of yelling about cakes.
Mm.
How about a story about a Hitler cake?
Oh, my Lord. Norton Bakery apologizes for customer-requested Hitler cake posted on Facebook.
Oh, boy.
Hey, it's Cartman. It is Cartman dressed as Hitler, and it says, Heil Katie. So there's, I guess some people I can see being upset at this, but it's more of a South Park cake than it is a Hitler cake.
Bake me a fucking cake!
There it is. Joe could go in and make this a federal case. Even if you make the cake for somebody, getting the joke, oh, ha, 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 okay, it's a South Park Cartman joke, we'll do this. Why would you put it on your Facebook?
Yes. Keep that to yourself. A bakery in Norton issued a public apology Sunday after sharing a photo on Facebook of a customer's requested cake depicting a South Park character as Adolf Hitler. Yes. The cake created by Sweet Stuff Bake Shop featured Cartman, a character from the animated TV series South Park, dressed as Hitler alongside the words Hail Katie, as seen in the screenshot shared with Boston.com of the now deleted post. The bakery said in its apology that the cake was made for customers over the weekend. After backlash online, the photo was removed from the bakery's Facebook page. Oh, boy.
Yay! It's everywhere!
I'm checking their Google reviews to see if anyone's trying to review bomb them here.
Yeah. Would have been okay if it was Stalin. Maybe you can do Stalin cakes or Mao cakes. Let's see here. Quote, we had
Mao cakes.
we hadn't considered the feelings of the greater global community. And it is something weird you have to do every now and again, is consider the feelings of the global community. We're still getting used to doing that. That's what the bakery wrote in an apology.
Have you considered the global community?
Quote, please know that we would never willingly wish to disrespect any portion of the world's population. Holy moly.
Okay.
That's very difficult to do. You're going to upset some part of the world no matter what cake you bake. Let's see here. The apology drew a mixed response, with some expressing sympathy and others criticizing the decision to create the cake in the post online. Thank you for your apology. However, as a customer who has As a customer who has had a number of delicious and beautiful cakes from your bakery, I am horrified and saddened that you felt it was appropriate to post a picture of a cake with the image of Hitler. Well, it was the image of Cartman as Hitler. So is that any better? I don't know. We're basically splitting hairs here.
Hilarious.
I do find it interesting, intriguing, that the photo of the cake with Cartman on it, note that they gave him the Nazi armband, but did not add the swastika.
Good point. Good observation.
So they did say that's a bridge too far. We're not going to put the swastika on there, but the Hitler, that's fine.
What they should have said, if the bake shop was savvy enough, they should have said, this is not Hitler. This is Charlie Chaplin playing the dictator in his famous role.
Mm-hmm.
It's Charlie Chaplin, obviously.
Cartman as Charlie Chaplin.
Cartman as Charlie Chaplin in the movie The Dictator. Let's see here. How else did they... So another commenter called the incident two poor choices, adding, it was a choice to make the cake and it was a choice to proudly post your creation. I don't think you are hateful, and I truly hope that you take the time to be introspective. You got to be introspective now to think about all the cakes you made.
This is quite the story.
Yeah, it's really blowing up online. I can imagine that this bakery is going to be closed down in a matter of weeks.
Well, I checked their Google reviews. They have not been review bombed, which I find interesting.
Melanie, I love your cakes and your bakery. You do so much for so many, one commenter wrote. Probably sounds like a member of the Aryan Brotherhood who wrote that. Another comment.
Thanks for supporting our cross burnings.
Another commenter described Barrick as one of the kindest business owners in town. As a small business owner myself, we don't always have a choice to say no. So, well, I mean, you do. You can say, "Listen, why don't we try a different Cartman character?" Or
nope, you have to do it, or it's you go to the Supreme Court.
How about a nice Klan hood instead? Yeah, we don't always have a choice to say no when our family depends on our income in a down economy. We also can't scan for every possible way. We may or may not offend the masses because we're all doing what we can to support our customers. And I can assure you, Sweet Stuff Bake Shop is no exception. So there they go. So this guy is really white knighting for this. A Jewish resident in Norton who requested anonymity due to concerns of potential anti-Semitism, backlash, or harassment said that he found the cake offensive and disturbing. Oh,
Sure
okay.
you brought that on yourself there. But.
Okay.
End of story.
It upset me that anti-Semitism and Nazi imagery are treated casually enough that a business owner would not see the problem of making a cake. Well, the problem is South Park normalized it. And before South Park, there have been multiple different pieces of pop culture, plays, everything that has turned Hitler into this other tier of iconography. So the cake, they didn't invent this. They're just replicating what is already out there in pop culture. So they really should take aim at South Park, not the Bake Shop.
That's a good point. They should sue Trey Parker and Matt Stone. I'm sure they'll get real far with that one.
They go on to say, I think the community deserves a more direct and serious apology. But what about South Park? Like, what about who owns Comedy Central at this point? Maybe Paramount? I don't know. They're just replicating. Yeah, they have a decision not to do this, but this image has been out there for decades at this point. The cartoon has been out there for decades. And I'm sure you could still go see it. Okay. This is fake outrage as far as these
are people on Facebook who have nothing better to do.
Pretty much, yeah. Which I hope to be one of those people someday. but I'm working towards it. Here we go.
Excuse me, I was just taking a shower.
All right, let's see. We're going to have to do this story because it is follow-up news. Just a short hit on this one. Where's the link to Carrot Shop? There we go. So a few weeks ago, we covered a story about a bunch of AI-powered Waymo self-driving taxis all getting jammed into a neighborhood and just kind of circling because clearly there's something wrong with their program. We also had the story a few weeks ago about heavy rains in, I think it was Georgia, where the Waymos couldn't tell the difference between the floodwaters and a road because they just see it in their LiDAR system, just sees a big, featureless, flat, open, dark area, and they assume that's the road. And so they have stories of cars, these Waymo cars, driving into floodwaters because they can't discern that. Now we've got a story of Waymo vehicles now blocking first responders trying to get to an emergency.
Oh, my Lord. Oh, my God, I hit my mic again. I don't often do that, but now I'm hitting my mic quite a bit. Got to stop that.
Why are you hitting your mic so much?
I don't know.
What's the mic ever done to you?
Well, I don't know, but Waymos blocked Dallas Road as first responders rush to explosion.
Oh, really?
Oh, boy. And here's we have some raw video of it right here.
I think it's body cam footage from the cops.
I'm sure this is really annoying to the cops dealing with autonomous cars.
Yeah, because you can't bang on the window and tell the driver to move. You have a lot of stupid drivers who block traffic. Now you've got no driver in there.
I'm trying to beat a driver and I can't.
You gotta get out the way.
He's talking to a robot?
Hey, robot!
No, go back. Go back. Go forward. Go forward. You hear me? Go forward. Go forward.
Oh, God. This cop's trying to talk to the Waymo.
Computer's broke.
Well, and keep in mind, all of these have a call center attached to them, so eventually he does talk to an operator, who I believe is in India.
Of course.
Go forward. Go.
AI robots.
Go. Come on. Go.
It's not doing anything.
Yeah. There's somebody in here.
Connected to rider support.
Come on.
This call may be recorded for quality assurance.
Okay. Yes, you need to move this car ASAP, please. There's a fire around the corner. You need to move this car. You're blocking the roadway.
All right.
Go forward. Go forward.
1 second.
Ma'am, it's going to back up in a minute.
Let me see. It's taking him a while to do anything. Oh, no. No, it's just... So I'll read the rest of the story here. We got a little taste of what he was experiencing here. Yeah, so Dallas County Precinct Deputy Constable Jonathan Banda found the empty Waymo partially blocking the route of fire trucks that it needed to get to a burning apartment building. With no driver behind the wheel, the deputy constable had to get inside the vehicle to clear the street so emergency crews could reach the scene. Now, you got to get out of the way. You got to move forward. If I can move it manually, I'll move it, Bandit told him. Come on, man. We need you to move it. Waymo employees ultimately unlocked the vehicle, allowing the cop to get behind and drive the vehicle to a safe location. I knew I had to clear the way for the firefighters coming in. I could hear the sirens coming. Interesting. I didn't realize they could unlock the car, but it makes sense. They could just make it a regular car if need be.
Well, and so and that's a good point, because these current ones, it is just a regular car that's been highly modified to be a 3-person or 4-person taxi, basically. As they build purpose-built vehicles like this in the future, they're not going to have any sort of capability for someone to physically operate it.
Yeah.
So why doesn't he just smash into it with his cruiser and jam it out of the way?
So let's see here. Let's see here. So, but what they're saying here is there is some logic built in as how the vehicle should operate in traffic, of course. But Dr. Gupta, co-director at the Center for Applied AI and Machine Learning at UT Dallas, says Waymo technology may struggle in a dynamic environment. Well, it wasn't really a dynamic environment. It looked pretty, it wasn't super busy right there.
Yeah, it is strange. It's not like it was in the downtown. It kind of was like in a neighborhood. But why was it sitting across multiple lanes of traffic?
Yeah. This does not bode well for Waymo. They've had a series of bad stories about them and how these things operate in difficult situations. And see, it does not recognize the situation it is in. It doesn't know how to react. Gupta tells Fox 4, in many situations when it doesn't recognize the situation it is in, it basically stops. There are human monitors who monitor these robotaxis, and then if such a situation arises where the taxi is stuck, they will come on. But for a large number of taxis, there is one human monitor. Yeah, I'm sure there's like one human monitor for 10 to 20 taxis maybe, if not more. I see here. That's the picture of the apartment, I think, building right there. I think it's related. I wonder if the apartment complex can sue Waymo at this point.
Hard to say, but I mean, how long until... So let's say you've got this sort of thing going on where you've got more and more of these vehicles on the road, and they do block emergency services from getting to someone who's, needs medical attention or something like that.
Yeah.
Is there potential for lawsuits? Probably.
Maybe. Well, that's...
It does say 3 people died in the fire, so...
It doesn't appear as though this Waymo prevented any vehicle from getting through because this cop was being proactive trying to clear the route, so... I don't think there's a lawsuit, but it doesn't mean that there won't be one, causing mental stress and anguish. So that very well could be. Maybe we have to do one more. One more quick one. Okay, one more quick one. In a pool of blood.
By the way, I did find another photo from this the same bakery on Facebook of another type of cake that they made that apparently did not upset the Jewish community.
Was that? It looks like is that the twin? Is that Gaza? Gaza cake. That's what I'm assuming. It looks like a Gaza cake.
Looks like a cake of Gaza being rebelized there. They're all in on that one.
It's got a couple likes. Oh, jeez. I don't know about that. I don't know if they should be doing that.
All right. I've got 2 listicles here. Not listicles, but 2 list articles in the sense where it's a list of stuff. And this one, actually, let's do this one. It's from Uber. So it's similar to Waymo. We're staying on the same topic here. This is the list of the stuff people leave behind in their Ubers.
Okay. I'm kind of curious. All right. Uber releases its list of strangest lost and found items that they have here.
Oh, really?
So here we go. Phones, wallets, keys are among the most common items forgotten in the back of Ubers. And the ride-hailing company says, but what about dentures or wedding gowns? It turns out people forget lots of weird and offbeat items, according to the company. All right, let's it's the 10th year Uber has released a list of lost items. Among the trend this year were more riders were leaving behind Labubus. Oh, that viral toy, Labubus.
Little toys.
The widely popular collectible toy, as well as fitness and workout-oriented items, vapes, e-cigarettes, and strangely enough, teeth. Yes, the 50 most unique items left behind in an Uber. Here we go. We got a denture with 2 teeth. And maybe it's a broken denture, so just leave it there. Somebody else can use it.
I just want those 2 teeth. That's all that's important.
Breast milk. Human hair.
I hope that was in a container.
Oh, my God. Human hair and breast milk. It's like someone's trying to build a human.
A homunculus.
Donnie
and the dentures. What are they doing back there?
A Donny Osmond picture. an ankle monitor. 420 donuts. Yeah, I need that. Wouldn't that just fill up the entire backseat of an Uber? George Washington Hospital discharge paper, sack of marbles, oxygen tank, gold mouth grill, probably a wrapper back there, a brand new mini fridge. Don't you think you'd remember? Like you picked up a mini fridge
went to the store to buy your mini fridge
at Costco or something. It's like, oh no. One red bottom of Louboutin heel, electrical harness, live fish, a mannequin, 2 trees.
It's a big Uber.
Yeah. This is all in one Uber. extra Uber XL. Cape with the Statue of Liberty on it. $200 worth of Temu items. Well, this could be anything. Grass. A textured photo with a rhinestone picture of Jesus. Oh, I'd like that. That'd be cool. A 75-gallon fish tank. That's big. That's huge. How are they fitting that in the back of an Uber?
Hilarious.
Pool stick and case. Let's see here. 2 chrome exhaust tips. Portable thermal printer. A dishwasher. A wizard wand, a welding helmet, a police radio, coffee table, handcuffs, 2 wedding gowns, pelvis implants, 20 pounds of duck sausage. 20 pounds of duck sausage. That's crazy.
That was 3 guys from Texas.
Fuck, I'm going to eat, goddammit.
3 men, all over 200 pounds.
600 pounds of men. It ain't gonna work.
Package of live butterflies, propane tank, double door oven.
There's a lot of appliances here. What is happening?
A propane tank, hunting waders, child's prosthetic eye. Your kid needs that. He's going to meet fun.
Your kid might notice that, right?
Black stethoscope, meat slicer, kitchen faucet, sleep apnea machine.
Goodbye.
Wow.
Why is the stethoscope got to be black?
I don't know.
Does it only work like on one race? What's going on here? That's a lot of stuff to like forget in the back of an Uber.
It's crazy.
What do you know about these people who are on their phones the entire time?
Well, thank you everyone for joining us during this very rare Sunday show. You can go to OBDMpod.com or ourbigdumbmouth.com. If you want to join the Discord, there's a link to the Patreon on the website. As little as $1 a month. More gets you different audio content and different things. I put up like a little garden vlog before a tree...
Before a tree attacked your garden?
Yeah, a tree wrecked the garden. And right after this podcast, I got to go back out there and chainsaw. So I'll take a little video before I start chainsawing to kind of show people the damage. And then I got to get to work. I got to work basically until 9 tonight. Get this stuff cleared up.
Laurel,
Organic.
You can get your neighbor Bigfoot to come over and help chainsaw that tree.
So I might need to call Bigfoot, help lift some of these logs. Some of these sections of log are really heavy. I just kind of have to cut them down more, but I'm kind of tired of cutting. I'm putting a lot of stress on my chainsaw. And I don't want to take it apart to clean it right now because I'm in the mode. I just want to get this stuff cut. But I also got to take care of my chainsaw. Chainsaw maintenance, people. You got to do it.
Bullshit.
No, I got to do it. I'm tired of paying for chainsaw repair stuff.
This is what they don't want me to see.
Yes.
Was this the utility company's trees taking down lines? Is that what caused the outage?
This is totally on the opposite. This is all us. This is like, we had a tree company come out last year, and they did suggest that this one was a potential one that could be a problem. And sure enough, it was. So.
I had one years ago fall in the middle of the night and hit the house.
Oh, my God.
That was loud.
That's what we want to avoid. Well, thank you, Gretchen. Thank you, everyone. Shablagoo.
Keep watching the skis. There's dudes throwing hubcaps over the hillside and taking photos.
Oh boy! 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 Oh boy!
That's about all.
Shablagoo.
Sit, Ubu, sit. Good dog.
Till next time, take care of yourself and each other.
Until next week. Nanu. Nanu.
So they were shutting down our coal power plants, our coal power plants,